Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Today I will be doing a recap of Divorced Sisters Season 1, Episode 8, Birds of a Feather. Now let's get into it. So, after Naomi put each of her friends on the spot and said all of those disrespectful things about them, First Lady Rashida told her that she has reached a new level of low. And this is where she gets off. Sorry, guys. Hey, Mama Bees, thank you so much for being here and letting me know that you can hear me. I jumped right in, so sorry for that. And guys, give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Back like I never left. Sorry about that, guys. So, Rashida asked the ladies if they believed that Myron and her husband was having an affair. So, Bridget quickly says no because, hey, Real Talk with Grace and Mercy, thank you so much for being here. Geneva said no. Tiffany said it is rumored that they are very close. It's all over town. And at least Tiffany was honest and she came clean because it was said that all of the ladies heard the rumors about Pastor Jefferson and his assistant Myron being so close, but nobody addressed it. Me personally, I need my friends to be honest with me and let me know when they hear something about me in the streets, just so I can clear the air if that's what I want to do, but at least be honest with me to let me know what's going on and what's been said. So Bridget was still trying to defend Pastor Jefferson's honor, and Naomi clapped back immediately with the gaslighting is real at y'all church. Okay. So First Lady Rashida decides to get to the bottom of it. And I know she had to be shaken in her boots, not knowing what would be revealed when she called her husband and Myron in to confront the situation. So as when she brought the two men in, Naomi placed the video footage on again. So for those of you who do not watch this show, um, there was a video that was recorded from the video cam outside of Naomi's home that caught Myron, the personal assistant, on the phone with someone speaking on Pastor Jefferson in a way that, you know, leads people to believe that they might be having an affair. So Naomi caught the video while the ladies were at her house. So she confronted Rashida with it. So Rashida wanted to clear the air. So she brought the two men in so that she could confront the situation. So as the video was playing, Myron dropped his head because he knew he was busted. Okay. So Pastor said, Myron, what is this? Are you talking about me? Because listening to that video, he was made aware that Myron was having a private conversation with somebody else on the phone, but he was speaking about him. So Myron tried to walk it back again, and this is not the first time that he tried to walk it back, because remember, just a couple of weeks ago, Myron was confronted because he called Pastor Jefferson on the phone, and Rashida heard him calling her husband babe. Okay. So, he cleared that up by saying that he was talking to his wife, but this time there's no way that he can use that same excuse. Naomi didn't even wait on Pastor Jefferson to respond. She asked Myron, "Why would you be talking to your wife about him?" And I could not believe what Naomi said next. She said, "How long have y'all been effing?" Okay. And for me, that was so disrespectful to say that to a pastor. I mean, we all know that Naomi has a filthy mouth, but that was definitely going too far. So, Pastor said, "We haven't, you evil devil." And at that point, that's exactly what he was supposed to say. So, they all wanted to know who Myron was talking to on the phone. But First Lady Rashida broke in to say, "I have an even better question." And she wanted to know from Myron. She asked Myron, "Myron, are you in love with my husband?" And of course, he said no. But she told him, "I think you are." Hey, Aunt Tricia, thank you so much for being here. Wow, wow, wow. This is a very uncomfortable conversation to be having in front of a group of people. So, Pastor Jefferson said, for the record, and guys, this was my favorite part of this episode. He said, "For the record, I'm not gay, bisexual. I love women. This woman." And he also said, "And I would never, ever do anything with anyone else." And then he looked directly at Myron and said, "Especially with a man." And he put some bass in his voice when he said it. So at this point, everyone, including myself, need to put to bed, this rumor or these allegations about Pastor Jefferson, unless we get some solid proof. Because at this point, it looks like Myron is living in his own little fantasy world. And Trisha said, "These Tyler Perry shows are getting wilder by the day." They are pretty raunchy sometimes. And this one, Trisha, I thought was kind of, on the up and up, not too much raunchiness, but when what's her name? Naomi said that to the pastor, I totally have to agree. So Myron's about to break up a marriage, and I'm sorry, my husband would have had to make it clear 3 years ago, because First Lady Rashida said that she has suspected that Myron has been in love with her husband for over the past 3 years since he started working as his assistant. So I definitely would have had to address that a lot sooner, because what man allows this to go on for 3 years? Not my man. So Pastor said, "I hate to disappoint y'all, but you got it all wrong." And Naomi wasn't done. Naomi said, "Okay, well, birds of a feather." And then she said, "Pink feathers," hence the title of this episode, "Flock Together." So at that point, First Lady Rashida told Naomi that she was done. And at this point, I would definitely be done. And I feel like all of these ladies need to be done. Rashida said, she told all the ladies, as long as we allow her to abuse us the way that he abused her, and we sit in this with her, we are telling her it's okay to treat us like this. And First Lady Rashida said, hell no, not anymore. I'm done. Like, stick a fork in me, I'm done. Now, I added the last part. She didn't say all that, but she's done. You teach people how to treat you. So I totally get where she's coming from. These are words that I personally live by. So the fact that this group of women, they're allowing Naomi to treat them this way, and they're just still holding on and still being there to support her. Like, in what world do people do that? And Pastor, first of all, Rashida was headed to the door and he told her, wait a minute, honey, let me open the door, because he does not want to make that mistake again of not opening his wife's door. And those of you who know if you watch the show, okay? So he then told Myron to ride with the ladies, you know, because his wife was going to be riding with him, since he wants to act like a lady and all. So then there was a knock on the door. They didn't even wait for someone to tell them to come in. It just happened to be process servers, police, whatever the case may be. And they told Naomi, you've been served. And Trisha said, yes, give folk an inch and they take them out. That part. So they told Naomi that she's been served and she is being sued for $50 million for assault by her ex-husband for what she did to her ex-husband's new wife. Okay. So Naomi was trying to act like she was unbothered, knowing she's about to lose everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything, because it was said in the divorce she got between 27 and $30 million. And he's now suing her for $50 million. And not that he's going to win, but just wait and listen, and you'll see why I feel like she's going to lose everything. So during the car ride home with the pastor and the first lady, the pastor said, what I would do he asked his wife, what would I do without you? And she was in a very joking mood. And she told him that he would be in love with Myron, which is his assistant. And Mama B says, I tried watching this show and just couldn't get into it. Okay, Mama B's. I gotcha. Really like this show, and there was a lot of funny moments. And for me, the funniest person on this show is First Lady Rashida. She's very funny. Like, the whole scene on the car ride home, she was making jokes that landed. She's really funny. So after all the drama, she was able to have a nice little kiki with her husband. And that was before she told him that she wanted him to confront their son, who she believes is on drugs. Okay. So she told him that she wanted him to cuss him out, and not the nice guy conversation. She really want him to cuss him out. And she said, it ain't like you don't be cussing folk out in the streets. So apparently we got a cussing first lady and a cussing pastor. But ain't nothing wrong with that. They're still human. They're not perfect. And she also wants her husband to get their son to pee in a cup. So after they got that all squared away, um, Pastor Jefferson told her that he was going to have to fire Myron, his assistant. So she explained to him why he can't fire Myron. And basically, it was out of fear of retaliation. And she said that if he were to fire his assistant, Myron, that Myron can come back and say things and just bring a lot of attention, negative attention to the church. And that's what she didn't want. So she told him that basically she'll slowly get rid of him, but right now it's just not a good idea to fire Myron. So meanwhile, Myron is sitting in the parking lot of the church crying because he thinks that he's about to lose his job, okay? So he just knows that the pastor is going to fire him after he's been exposed for having private conversations with we don't know who yet. And for whatever reason, they're kind of keeping that hush hush. So while he was sitting in the car crying, thinking that he's about to lose his job, Bridget made it back to the church. And Bridget asked him point blank if he was in love with the pastor. And of course, he said no. And when Bridget, with her nosy self, when she asked him that question, I thought for sure that we were going to get the tea. But Myron continued to lie, and she told him, "You're not going to get anywhere by lying. You need to tell the truth." So she told him to just show up at work the next day. She didn't think that he was going to get fired. So she just told him to show up at work and they'll go from there. And speaking of Bridget, I seen Bridget in another movie on Tubi this past weekend. I got to look up her real name. I'm not really sure what her real name was, but it was a really, really good movie. In the movie, and yes, guys, I know I'm all off topic. Bridget's husband hired somebody to unalive her in the movie. And she was pregnant in the movie when her husband wanted to unalive her. But I'll look that information up and I'll let you guys know the name of the movie because it is a good watch. So Javon ended up calling Tiffany and he told Tiffany that he wanted her to put an offer in for the house. He loves the house and he wants her to put an offer in for the house. And just for clarification, Javon is trying to move next door to Geneva and her husband, William. And I think that's so weird of him. And I feel like it's very messy work. And even if he didn't have anything going on with Geneva, who wants to move next door to their friends? Like, that is so weird to me. And Aunt Trisha said, I saw that was pretty good. So obviously, that makes William weird too, because he's the one that told Javon about this house that was for sale next door to him and Geneva. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what part William plays in all of this because he's just acting too weird. And even though his wife suspects him of cheating on her, he's trying to set her friend up with Javon, and then he told Javon about this house that's vacant next door. Like, that's just too close for comfort and making Geneva feel very uncomfortable. So I don't care how you look at it, that's a setup for disaster. So I don't know if he just wants to be able to watch Geneva's every move. I'm not sure, but something very weird is going on. So Thirsty Tiffany is just clueless to his shenanigans. I don't know if she just wants a man so bad. So he then proceeds to ask Tiffany to crash William and Geneva's vacation to Italy. And she's supposed to be the one that's watching their kid while they're gone. Hey, to Latrice, thank you so much for being here. So this man got her acting all kinds of stupid, as if she don't see those flashing red flags. Like she literally met this man 24 hours ago and she is considering going on a trip to Italy with this man. So the scene where Naomi went to the hospital to taunt her victim and her ex. I just wish I could unsee it. Naomi is spiraling out of control so fast. She might as well start playing Mary J. I'm going down on repeat, okay? Aunt Trisha said, stalker. Yes, Javon is definitely giving me stalker vibes. And you want Geneva so bad that you're willing to possibly sleep with her friend to get back at her. Like, it's just not making any sense. So, in a matter of 2 days, Naomi has managed to go to jail after assaulting the new wife, trash all of her friends who would have been there to support her, go to the hospital to taunt her victim, and try to solicit someone to unalive her ex-husband. Yep. Naomi is definitely going down. Hey, Linda Gamble, thank you so much for being here, beautiful. And I'm still tripping on the fact that Tiffany is even considering going to Italy with a man she only known for 24 hours. Like, make that make sense. So hopefully, First Lady Rashida was able to convince that dizzy broad to just say no. Okay. She told Rashida that she was going to let him know, talking about Javon, that night at dinner, that she wouldn't be going to Italy with him. So come to find out, Myron was talking to someone that works for the church on the phone. They still didn't reveal the name, but the drama is heating up. And for some reason they're holding back that piece of information about who Myron was actually talking to on the phone. So I'm very curious to know who he was sharing, all this information about Pastor Jefferson with. So in the next scene, Javon was cooking in Geneva's kitchen. Like, I'm like Aunt Trisha at this point. He is really acting like a stalker. So in the next scene, First Lady Rashida, and I'm going to talk over this briefly because this scene was just, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it. First Lady Rashida catches her son stealing money out of her dresser drawer or her nightstand by her bed. And when she confronted him, he got very violent with her. And as a mother, when your child does something like that, I think she was kind of speechless because maybe she never seen this type of behavior from him before. But as a mother, that's very scary because at that point, I'm pretty sure she realized that she has lost control of her son. So at that point, she asked him to pee in a cup. I'm pretty sure he's not going to pee in the cup. And remember, that's what she asked her husband to do, was to get her son to pee in a cup. But at this point, he wasn't around, and she decided to just go ahead and confront her son about the drugs on her own. Now, do y'all think that the cat is going to be let out of the bag now that Anika needs a blood transfusion? So let me just go ahead and put that out there, but let me back up. So while Javon was busy cooking in Geneva and William's kitchen, Anika was outside playing with the nanny in the backyard, and they heard a scream, and she ran in, and she said that Anika fell off the swings, and they ended up taking her to the hospital. So while they were waiting, on them to do CAT scans or whatever the case may be, the doctor finally came out, and she said that Anika would need a blood transfusion. And she asked Geneva to be the one to give the blood. And William said, no, she's afraid of needles. I'll give the blood. And then the doctor said, no, I need Geneva to give the blood. And she said, because Anika is AB, her blood type is AB. And he said, well, how can that be? I'm O negative. So how can my daughter be AB? So at that point, everybody's just, looking crazy. And William wants to know what is going on. And Geneva is standing there looking stupid, like she didn't cheat on her husband. And there's a possibility that this baby could belong to the side dude and not her husband. So that's pretty much how the show ended. So I think at this point, the cat is going to be let out of the bag and it is going to be revealed that Anika, Geneva's daughter, could potentially belong to the stalker, Javon. Now, what do y'all think about that? Like, this is crazy work. Like, I can't believe that Geneva didn't just step up and say, yes, I'll donate the blood. Let's get it done. Because by her not stepping in to, donate the blood to her daughter, now everything's going to come to light that she cheated on her husband and her daughter could potentially not be her husband's baby. So things are going to get really crazy in this next episode because not only does Geneva have to address the fact that her daughter has a different blood type than her dad, Naomi is trying to hire her sex worker boyfriend to unalive her husband. Like, there's just so much going on. So this next episode is going to be really good, guys. So Mama Bees, give it another chance because it's really going to get good. Also, hopefully we'll find out who Myron was talking to on the phone because whoever he was talking to on the phone, he said that this person is the one that put it in his head that the pastor has a thing for him. Okay. So this person also works for the pastor. So I'm very curious to know who this person is. And Aunt Tricia said, the other man's child. Yes. Oh my God. And the funny part about it is everybody involved is right there. You got Javon, he's there. So now he knows because he already suspected that that could be his child. So now he knows for sure that Anika is his daughter. And now Desperate Tiffany, maybe she'll find out the reason why Geneva has been acting funny with her and ignoring her because, she's dating a man that she was once involved with. And Real Talk with Grace and Mercy said, yes, ma'am. Real Talk with Grace and Mercy. Are you watching this show, Divorced Sisters by Tyler Perry? So, yes, episode 9 is going to be good. Mama Bees, give it another chance. It's going to be good. I promise. So, guys, I'm going to end on that note. And, guys, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and drop down in the comments so that we can keep this conversation going. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye for now.